Welcome to the Campfire. Come and sit, for the night is cold and dark, and we have stories to tell you. Tonight, we will tell of the holders, those who guard that which should never be found, and if found, must never be brought together. Yet, many seek to collect them. Perhaps you are one of these seekers? Sit a little closer, and we'll begin our tale. The Holder of the Path. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself to. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls himself the Holder of the Path. The worker will try his best to keep a look of indifference while handing you a key, which he explains belongs to an unused supply closet in the building. If only it were that simple. Upon locating and unlocking the door, you will find a narrow and winding road suspended in an endless void, only occasionally disrupted by the massive outlines of things best left unsaid. To fall off the path is to be thrown out of reality itself. A nightmarish eternity of inconceivable horror awaits anyone who either stumbles into the void by their own error or is dragged off the path by the timeless monstrosities that reside on the outskirts of creation. If you should ever feel as if you are being watched while traveling through this piece of oblivion, the best chance you have is to immediately freeze in place and hold your breath. Continue to do so until either your audience loses interest and moves on, or moves in to claim you. If it is the latter, feel free to scream as much as you want. Eventually, the path will end at a door, and upon opening it, you will find a small, dirt-caked room. Propped up against the far wall will be a heavily emaciated corpse, with what's left of its skin long since blackened with necrosis. There will be nothing else unusual about it unless you approach it and ask one question. How did they acquire the Guardians? If said line is spoken, the corpse will begin to stir. A subtle red glow will come from its eye sockets as it lifts its head and begins to whisper the long and macabre history of the holders. It will speak of unholy pacts and unspeakable atrocities. Within time, its tale will touch upon every form of evil known to man or God. And then, he will mention a few more. Furthermore, if given the title of any holder, it will reveal its history and the meaning of the object that it protects. Well, almost any holder. You see, it will never go into detail about itself. This is because the ghoul hopes that its visitor will not question why it seems to be lacking an object. The truth is that its piece was somehow sealed inside the creature's skull, and the ominous light in its eye sockets is actually that of the objects shining through. That object is 7 of 538. You will need it, and its holder will do anything to keep you away from it. Do you still wish to find these things? I wonder if you even know why. A feeling, a voice, an itch. So often understanding comes too late. Add something to the fire and let us continue. The holder of song. In any city, any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself to. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit the holder of song. You will be guided to a single door leading to a long, winding staircase. It will seem to take you up higher than the building should stand. There will be a door at the top of the stairway that opens into a dim hall. Heat will wash over you. Proceed down the hall, and at one point it will suddenly get much colder. When this happens, you must stand perfectly still and make no sound. If you hear a baby crying, turn around and run away. The baby's cry will follow you. If you hear it for the rest of your life, you're lucky. For when it stops, the firstborn children will die. You were not worthy. If there is no cry and the heat returns, proceed to the door at the end of the hall. Open it. The room will be awash in green light. In the center will be an old woman turning a music box that produces no sound. Her legs have both been severed at the knees. When you speak to her, you must look her in the eyes. She hides a spear fashioned from the bones of her legs, and if you break eye contact, she will impale you and leave you in agony to bleed to death. She will only respond to one question. Ask her, "What was the song they used to play?" The old woman will begin singing. The song is in a different language, but the melody is beautiful. Serenity will wash over you. You will be presented with the image of children playing and singing. Things will turn grimmer. The children will begin fighting, then killing, then disemboweling each other with sharp rocks. The image will continue. Children spreading death and destruction, more horrific than you ever could have dreamt, but still you will remain calm and peaceful. You will see a naked boy drenched in blood, singing with delight as he runs through a hellish wasteland, pursued by unspeakable monsters. They will find him, and they will defile him utterly. Still, the song will continue from his dead lips. An intense pain will stab at your chest. Your heart will feel like it is about to explode, but still, you must not break eye contact with the old woman. If you do, an exploding heart would become your happiest dream. If you don't shift your gaze, the pain will pass. The woman will stand up, you will not know how, and place the music box in your hands. The music box is number 14 of 538. When its song plays again, they will all come together. I see I have not dissuaded you on your journey. If that be the case, then let me tell you one more thing. Instructions by Neil Gaiman. Touch the wooden gate in the wall you never saw before. Say please before you open the latch. And go through. Walk down the path. A red metal imp hangs from the green painted front door as a knocker. Do not touch it. It will bite your fingers. Walk through the house. Take nothing. Eat nothing. However, if any creature tells you that it hungers, feed it. If it tells you that it is dirty, clean it. If it cries to you that it hurts, if you can, ease its pain. From the back garden, you will be able to see the wild wood. The deep well you walk past leads to Winter's realm, and there's another land at the bottom of it. If you turn around here, you can walk back safely. You will lose no face. I will think no less of you. Once through the garden, you will be in the wood. The trees are old. Eyes peer from the undergrowth. Beneath a twisted oak sits an old woman. She may ask you for something. Give it to her. She will point the way to the castle. Inside it are 3 princesses. Do not trust the youngest. Walk on. In the clearing beyond the castle, the 12 months sit about a fire, warming their feet, exchanging tales. They may do you favors if you are polite. You may pick strawberries in December's frost. Trust the wolves, but do not tell them where you are going. The river can be crossed by the ferry. The ferryman will take you. The answer to his question is this: if he hands the oar to his passenger, he will be free to leave the boat. Only tell him this from a safe distance. If an eagle gives you a feather, keep it safe. Remember that giants sleep too soundly, that witches are often betrayed by their appetites. Dragons have one soft spot, somewhere, always. Hearts can be well hidden, and you betray them with your tongue. Do not be jealous of your sister or your brother. Know that diamonds and roses are as uncomfortable when they tumble from one's lips as toads and frogs, colder too, and sharper, and they cut. Remember your name. Do not lose hope. What you seek will be found. Trust ghosts. Trust those that you have helped to help you in return. Trust dreams. Trust your heart, and trust your story. There is a worm at the heart of the tower. That is why it will not stand. Remember that. When you come back, return the way you came. Favors will be returned, debts will be repaid. Do not forget your manners, and do not look back. Ride the wise eagle, you shall not fall. Ride the silver fish, you will not drown. And ride the gray wolf, hold tightly to his fur. When you reach the little house, the place your journey started, you will recognize it, although it will seem much smaller than you remember. Walk up the path and through that garden gate you never saw before but once, and then go home, or make a home, and rest. Our fire is almost out, the flames dying. but it is just as well. My eyelids have grown heavy. I'm sure you have places to visit and treasures to seek, but now that you know where to find us, we look forward to our next meeting. Be careful out there, in the cold, in the dark. Please come back soon to hear more stories and warm yourself by the campfire.